Kaya, this was a beast in its day, this Car 15, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, Vietnam, Panama. Honestly, I think it's still a beast, and I believe this thing is here to stay. There's no way.
I hear you on the here to stay stuff, but Jim, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you used to carry a 416?
I did. Let's talk about it.
All right.
Welcome back to Classic Firearms, guys. Kaya here with Jason.
Hey, what's going on, folks?
And we've got Jim Foreman here with us. Jim, thanks for stopping by. And today we're going to talk about the legendary H&K 416, which is right here. And it is legendary because it's been adopted by many militaries around the world. It was designed in 2004. You know, French military, Norwegian military has it. Special Operations Command around the world has it. U.S. Navy SEAL, Team 6, and Delta Force utilize it for many years. So it's been a very good, proven system. And before we get there, I want to talk about our guest, Jim Foreman here. Jim, why don't you tell us about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, retired Navy SEAL, 27 years. Now I work at Active Crisis Consulting, where I'm part owner, and we do a lot of security and training.
Gotcha. So, and the reason we have Jim over here, we did a really good podcast. Definitely check that out at CF Podcast on our YouTube channel if you don't know. It was amazing. Right?
Stellar.
Don't you think so?
Stellar.
It was really, really good. So with that being said, you know, Jim is a former SEAL Team 6 operator, so he actually has a lot of experience with the H&K 416. That's why we're like, you know what, why don't we talk about this gun? Because I know a couple of things about it. Jason knows some things about it. But hey, man, we've got the man over here, so he can tell us about some of his experience with this thing. And Jim, why don't you just take over, man?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So before we had the 416, we had the M4, and we had, 16, 14, and 10-inch weapons. The 416 was developed to be a little bit more durable, specifically designed for the 10-inch barrel with the suppressor because, as you know, that the AR platform has a gas system, and that is putting out gas right through these two holes right here, and sometimes with the suppressor it would get clogged real quick and you get jams.
So that's a direct impingement system.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what they have here is a gas piston system, which is a lot more reliable. The spring's solid as hell. And although this is not a 10-inch weapon, you could imagine it'd be right about here, and you have a suppressor on the back of that. So it was designed to be able to do rapid fire, even full auto with the suppressor, and not have a jam with the gas and the carbon.
Yeah, because this is HK's proprietary short-stroke piston-driven gas-operated system. And during tests, when this was being tested by the United States military, it actually ran so much cleaner than the direct impingement system, which makes sense because this is pretty much, it shits where it eats, right? The gases come back. Gases just come back from there all the way here, so your bolt gets really dirty, and especially if you're shooting express with all the excessive back pressure, you could really clog this thing up if it's not tuned properly. So how did this thing perform in the field for you?
Yeah, it was awesome. So, I mean, they tested it in the sand, they tested it in the water and all that. So it's more of a closed system. You can even see the two little gas ports coming out of here. We don't have that on the HK system. It's just clean. So performance-wise, I never had a jam. I don't know anybody that ever had a jam because of the shorter barrel and the suppressor causing carbon buildup.
Yeah, this H&K 416 was used actually in the Osama bin Laden raid. Because, U.S. Navy SEAL Team 6 used it. And from there, I remember reading articles about, of course, it's a big operation, a big name. Everybody was talking about it. And the gun nuts, people who were in the gun enthusiasts, like myself, they were talking about the H&K 416 being used in that operation. So
super reliable.
Super reliable.
Hey guys, we're going to take a moment to interrupt this content to bring you a word from the sponsor of this video, Sonoran Desert Institute. Now, of everyone at Classic, I've probably built the most guns myself, and I know a lot of you guys out there like to work on and repair your guns at home as well. If you're looking for a way to take that hobby to the next level, Sonoran Desert Institute could help. The online courses at SDI cover a broad range of topics, including armor certification, gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and gun finishes, sport shooting management, and more. They even send tools and materials directly to your home so you can get hands-on training while you're covering this coursework. So if you're looking for a way to get an education that you could actually apply to your job or start a new career, definitely contact SDI at 480-999-4767 or visit sdi.edu.
So Jason, what are your thoughts? Do you have any experience with this? I know you shot it.
Yeah, I've shot it plenty of times. I've seen it in plenty of cages in an armory, and these things are absolutely soup to nuts, like the utmost top tier when it comes to a piston-driven system. Like you said, a matter of fact, HK makes it so precise that once you put a can on here, it runs even more precise as it is. Sometimes they even had problems with the bolt carrier group cycling so fast that it didn't even pick up rounds sometimes, but they managed to do that with the adjustable gas block and all that jazz. So, I mean, it's very round robust. The barrel is robust. Everything about this is over-engineered to a T. So by all means, even down to how, you know, all these cuts and everything, it's just, it locks in so well. And I think our Armed Forces definitely chose a real one for the real pipe hitters. So,
Dude, now that this, you guys are explaining this, it just hit me. Perhaps CF contest?
I'm pretty sure we can manage something like
What
that.
do you think? I think that should definitely happen. Let us know in the comment section if you guys want to see something like this, an HK 416 at CF contest. I think it's, I mean, I would love to have this thing. It's an iconic, that's my word. Also lovely, like weapon system, and that you guys should have. But I know a bunch of guys in the Turkish military, Turkish Special Forces, and they use HK 416. I know the MKE in Turkey, that's the state owned factory. They have the license to produce the HK 416s, and they to this day do it. And those guys who, you know, they got some terrorism issues over there, so they really do use these weapon systems. And I talked to them about it a while back. We were talking about what weapon system they use. They actually reported really good things about the HK 416. They're like, dude, this thing, because they're in caves and really harsh conditions in the mountains of northern Iraq. They're like, dude, it just runs. It's a workhorse.
Yeah,
No
especially
problem.
over a DI gun, especially doing over the beach stuff. I'm pretty sure this would definitely help out, especially in any type of harsh environments that require
Sand, dust.
salt water. I mean, boom. It's even down to the anodizing of how they do it is very top notch and pristine. So,
Jim, what are your thoughts about the accuracy? I'm sure you've done some either training or operation, like a little bit longer distances.
Yeah, I never had an issue with that accuracy. I mean, it performed. The biggest thing that we wanted was something that we could depend on, like that would have that cycle rate, that we don't have to like keep cleaning the suppressor or the gas system or having to jam. You know, because if we had to get another suppressor, that changes our dope.
Right.
So we want to keep the same system as long as possible
Gotcha.
for accuracy.
Yeah, one of the most impressive things about the HK 416 during testing is when they tested in sand. As you guys know, sand, I mean, it kills your gun. Like it just, you'd know that better than anybody. And this thing was able to actually do pretty well when it comes to being in sand. So how would you set this thing up? I know, by the way, guys, we removed these handguards here to show you guys the operation systems on these guns. And I mean, I'm not going to put this thing fully back, just to kind of show them how that looks, how the gun looks.
Well, the cool thing is with this is all it takes is this bolt, and you can see the giant notch. You could use a round
Over here.
to pop it back in. So it's super simple to get back in.
Is it lined up? Because I kind of like, I didn't push it all the way in. So
Yeah, well, we'll do that later.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that they made it so you could take it out in the field if you needed to.
yeah. So yeah, this is how it looks, and the M-LOK system, obviously, it really, you know, if you look at some of the modern M-LOKs, they're just a lot slimmer. What I noticed with that is just like, you know, you're so much closer to the barrel, and you know, it kind of burns your hand. And this is a lot more robust. Like I don't feel any flex at all with this thing compared to some of my other ARs that are much slimmer. And so how did you have yours set up for the field?
Even
Like, what
on
did you
my
have on it?
even on my 10-inch, I had a 2.5 to 10 power scope because it took away from using binoculars. I could see I have a 10 power scope, and if I wanted to take a very specific shot, even at 100 yards, you know, if there's a hostage situation, something like that, you still have the accuracy to take a headshot or a partial headshot. But on top of that, I always had a red dot. So CQC was red dot, or daytime quick reactive shooting was a red dot. So I didn't have to put my eye on a scope. Helo shooting, the same thing, red dot all day long. Or nighttime, you got your laser, IR laser, which I always had mounted on the top or on the bottom. But if I had the space, I put it on the top to keep that. If you put it on the side, you always have to worry about that offset. So if you always want to have it 2.5 inches to the left, make it so it shoots 2.5 inches to the left. So even at 300 yards, you don't have to worry about, okay, I'm shooting to the right now.
Question for you. Here, speaking about offsets, converging zero or parallel?
I like parallel.
Okay.
What is that? Can you explain that parallel thing?
So parallel zero, in case you guys don't know, when it comes to shooting under nods, active shooting, a laser can come with 2 zeros. Converging meaning I know that at this point with this laser, it comes to a certain point, whether it be 100 yards. Normally people zero it off their optic or what they're carrying for. Jim, like myself, I like a parallel zero, which means that no matter what, no matter the engagement distance, the zero will always be at a certain point, no matter when I go. So I take out that guessing, if anything. I just have to account for a little bit of offset if it's very much so close.
For the elevation, right?
Or if it's on the side, it's going to be left or right.
or right.
So
Windage.
meaning if you're taking a headshot, and if you're sighted in at your red dot for, usually my red dot was like 10 yards to like 80 yards was, headshot was pretty good. And if I'm sighted 2.25 inches, 2.5 inches to the left, I know my headshot is going to be, I'm going to hold to the right a little bit.
Gotcha.
Just to get right down center. But if you don't take that into account, then you could be off target if you're doing a really tight shot.
Very much so.
So the converging means that at maybe 60 yards, you're right on, but at 10 yards, you're not, and 150, you're not.
You're way off.
So you really, and then you just kind of guessing in a way,
like
or you really have to have that down where you memorize everything.
Gotcha. And I really liked that you mentioned the even on your 10.5. This is another thing I learned from him. I didn't think about that. Even on your 10.5 CQB gun or CQC gun, you have a 2.5 to 10 power LPVO, because at the very least you can do some precise shots, but all target identification, like use it as a binocular.
PID, man.
Yeah,
Binocular, or like I said, there's many times, 'cause I grew up as a sniper, right? So I want my shots accurate. I want to be able to see what I'm seeing. And even if it's like an 80-yard shot, I want to hit where I'm aiming.
You're right. That's a very, very good point. And you have your red dot, which you use 12 o'clock position, right? Okay. Just like somebody I know over here. It's fine, as I told you many times.
It's all good, man. It's going to run you.
I will give it a try.
Let's talk about that. So you're talking about offsetting it to the 45?
Well, I have been a red dot magnifier guy, but lately trying to get into LPVOs a little bit. So with that being said, I tried the 45. Obviously, you do this and you do this, right? Feels pretty natural, but if you do switch shoulder, then you don't have that option. At 12 o'clock, you have it. It makes sense, but I never thought of just like this and this.
Yeah.
But it does make sense.
We do that because it's way quicker to just do this and then look up.
Yeah.
Your head's already there, and then your laser, all that stuff, you're not doing a can't
That's right.
at the last minute. It may only be a quarter of a second or half second, even
Yeah.
a full second, but that's time.
No, it makes perfect sense. Absolutely, and I'm going to give that one a try. And besides your LPVO and your laser and light, whatever, and your gun was set up pretty much like a stock gun, right?
Correct.
You guys aren't modifying anything? Like, is there anything you would change on an HNK 47? HNK 416?
No, I had the scope and the red dot set up. I had my IR laser. I usually never had a white light. That's me personally. I didn't like the white light. But I had my nods and I had my laser. So, and then I'd have a foregrip up front, and that was just to have that control for muzzle strikes
I see.
or just better control.
And the white light you said on the field, right? For home defense,
For home defense, it's totally different.
Gotcha.
For me, especially as a recce guy moving up to a target, if you accidentally bump even your sling or something hits a light, you have a light AD, it's almost worse than an actual AD with a suppressor. People see that real quick.
Gotcha. No, that makes a lot of sense. That's awesome. So, I mean, here it is, guys. Jim Foreman, former SEAL Team 6 operator, used this gun in the field and training, and you think this is top-notch, good to go?
Awesome weapon system. Yeah, very well thought out. Perfect for us, SEALs,
Yeah.
but also for other top-notch tier units.
Yeah. thanks to Larry Vickers, who helped out design this thing. Yeah, he helped design that. And so yeah, I'm really thinking now that we talk about this, there should be maybe CF contest on this one.
A Jim Foreman build on CF contest. That's
Jim Foreman build. Yeah. That would be. You're right. You know what? Maybe we should do that. We should have Jim Foreman deck this thing completely out, and then features at CF contest.
I like it.
I think we should.
I got a sling for it too.
You got a sling? Oh, what brand would that be?
That would be Faro Concepts. Slingster.
How come?
You've seen it. I gave you mine. How come?
I have.
You're asking.
I have his personal sling. I just took it out of his gun, and it's mine now.
The Slingster, if you don't know about, it's a 2-point, but it has a very glass-like adjustable strap. So you could tighten it or loosen it on a whim. It's got padding. It's a top-notch sling. It comes in 7 different colors. So, I mean, I gave you my personal one. Yeah. I still haven't gotten a new one, but I'll get it hopefully soon.
Well, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's awesome. I wouldn't be using it, and I wouldn't be giving it to Kai if I didn't think it was a badass sling.
That's awesome. And we're talking about Faro Concepts, Slingster here, and Jim Foreman, yes, the owner of Active Crisis Consulting Company. Definitely check out ActiveCrisis.com and also Active Crisis on Instagram. But also Jim is with Faro Concepts. Mm-hmm. So we didn't mention that.
Faro. If you don't know Faro Concepts, we make tactical gear. It's very well designed gear. Like I said, I like to work with companies that know what they're doing. They have stuff in stock and readily available and easy to adjust for improvements. So Faro Concepts, from plate carriers to packs to belts, the Bison belt, top-notch belt, my favorite belt. Not just because I work there, but it is something that I could easily talk about.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've got one of those Bison belts too. They are very slim profile. It's really, really comfortable compared to my other stuff, which are good. But Bison belt is really good. Yeah, I'm liking the idea, Jason. Jim Foreman built MR556A1, which is the HNK 416 for a CF contest. Let us know in the comment section if that's a good idea and if you guys want it. If you guys do want it, we'll make it happen. So that's about it. Jim, really appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by and giving us the information, your personal experience about this weapon system. Jason, anything to add?
Brother, you got it.
All right. Good stuff, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Let us know your thoughts about this weapon system, if you have any experience, or if you guys want us to do more things with the HNK 416. As always, we appreciate your business. Check out Active Crisis. Yeah, I got you. Check out Active Crisis, Faro Concepts. And with that being said,
God bless.
And we'll see you on the next one.